All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to talk about a fascinating idea, the idea that a powerful guide to personal growth is hidden somewhere you've probably seen thousands of times: the US $1 bill. I mean, what if a complete framework for your own evolution, a roadmap for creating your own reality, was something you've literally held in your hands more times than you can count? Well, the source material for today's explainer argues exactly that. It says this profound guide is encoded right there in the unfinished pyramid on the back of every dollar. So let's break down what that really means. Okay, so our main focus here is the reverse side of the Great Seal of the United States. And you've got to understand, this is way more than just a national emblem. It's the absolute centerpiece of this whole philosophy of self-development. According to our source, this symbol, which pulls from all these ancient traditions, isn't just a static image. It's actually a living map, a kind of guide for transforming your life, for moving from just a physical existence to a much higher state of awareness. So you might be wondering, how in the world did a symbol with such a deep, kind of mystical meaning end up on our money? Well, its journey was actually very intentional. You have to go way back. The founding fathers, and a lot of them were really into these esoteric traditions, they chose this imagery all the way back in 1782. But it wasn't until 1935 that President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who was a 33rd degree Freemason, by the way, decided to put it on the dollar, basically turning it into this spiritual reminder for everyone. So every little piece of this seal has two meanings: a patriotic one and a deeper universal one. Those 13 layers, sure, they're the original colonies, but they also represent our layers of experience. And that unfinished top, that's no mistake. It's an invitation for you to keep building yourself. The eye symbolizes divine guidance, while the Latin phrases point to a new era, not just for a country, but for you, the individual. Now, this whole philosophy isn't just based on some old human ideas. It's actually grounded in these universal patterns that you can find all throughout nature, what some people call sacred geometry. And right at the heart of all this is a number, 1.618. You might know it as phi, or the golden ratio, but this isn't just math, okay? It's seen as a fundamental principle of harmony in design in the universe. The source material we're looking at suggests this ratio represents a kind of perfect balance. It's like a blueprint for creation that connects our physical world to a higher spiritual reality, a bridge, if you will. And this pattern is literally everywhere. I mean, from the massive spiral of a galaxy to the tiny petals of a flower, this sacred ratio just keeps showing up. It kind of suggests there's an intelligent design to everything, and guess what? We're part of it too. So the whole journey of growth, it begins on what's symbolically called the checkered floor. This represents duality, the constant back and forth of opposites, light and dark, joy and sorrow. The key insight here is that you don't find wisdom by trying to avoid the dark squares. Nope, it's all about learning to navigate both the light and the shadow with awareness. And inside of us, we manage this whole navigation act through 5 elemental forces. You've got earth for our stability, water for our emotions, air for our thoughts, fire for our actions, and then spirit, which unites them all. The real key to consciously creating your life is finding that perfect balance among these elements. Okay, so with those foundations in place, the geometry of nature and the elements inside us, the pyramid finally reveals its core teaching. This is the practical, hands-on part, a 3-step journey to becoming whole. The path is laid out in 3 really clear stages. First, you have to turn inward for self-realization. Second, you take that realization and express it outward through what's called divine manifestation. And finally, you integrate both of those to become the master key. You can almost think of it like breathing, right? First, there's this inward spiral to find your center, to get really clear on your truth. Then there's an outward spiral where you take that inner truth and you use it to actually shape your reality through your actions. It's this complete, dynamic cycle of growth. So, the final destination of this whole journey is the integration of your inner and outer worlds. It's about becoming the master key to your own life. And this state of integration, it has a name: gnosis. Now, this isn't about what you think. It's a direct, lived experience of knowing. You know that feeling when your actions are in perfect harmony with your inner truth and things just flow? That's gnosis. And your guide on this path, that's what the source calls your higher self. Think of it like your inner compass, that timeless, wise part of you. It's the source of your intuition, those gut feelings that are always gently trying to steer you toward your true purpose. And all of this brings us to the ultimate realization of the whole journey. You are not just some passive person along for the ride in life. You are both the architect building the pyramid and you're the pyramid itself. In other words, that dollar in your pocket isn't just money, it's a reminder that your life is a constant work in progress, and you, my friend, are the builder. So, that pyramid on the dollar isn't just a symbol to be looked at, it's a call to action. It's teaching that every choice, every thought, and every action is another stone you're laying in the foundation of your own life, which of course leads to the final and most important question: what stone will you lay today?